Hey folks, John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods. Today here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. And yes, as I've been saying lately, from now when you see me, it's a good chance that we're going over a new addition to our inventory. And that would be the case here. We've got a very nice looking 1968 Ford Mustang sitting right here to go over with you folks today. Kind of the brief overview of it here. Of course, the burgundy color here, very nice color on this car. As far as the drive line goes, we've got a 289 cubic inch small block Ford motor. We've got the C4 automatic transmission, and we've got the 8-inch Ford in the back with a 350 gear in it. As far as our running gear, the steering, the brakes and such, it is a manual steering car. However, it has been upgraded to a Flaming River steering rack, so it makes it really nice here. It steers very, very good. And as far as the brakes go, it is power brakes. It is disc brake all the way around. Looks to have the OE stuff up front here as far as the disc brakes go. On the back though, it is slotted rotors with the stainless steel brake corporation, the SSBC disc brakes back there. So that's kind of a brief overview. So we'll start our walk around, try to point out to you exactly what we're looking at. Not a whole lot to really point out as far as badging and such and striping. Kind of a plain car, but it looks very, very good, and the quality of the paint, the body panels and everything is very nice on this car. Starting at the front, we've got the chrome front bumpers here. We'll take a much better look at that as we get to the front of the car, but again, there's no pitting or scratches or anything like that. Very nice quality chrome on that bumper. As far as our wheels and tires, obviously an aftermarket wheel and tire. We've got American Racing Torque Thrust D style wheels here. Looks like a chrome finish on those, 15-inch both front and rear. For the tires, obviously we've got our popular choice here, the BFGoodrich Radial TAs here. Up front, 215 65 R15s, and then out on the back, a little different size back here. We've got the 235 60 R15s back there. Tires are in great shape on this car. Tread looks to be all brand new on this car. As far as badging on our front fender, of course, we've got the pony emblem here, the 289 right above it, and of course the Mustang script emblem here on the side of the car. Of course, we have that rocker trim down below here, nice and straight, polished up very well, looks good, and it's attached good and secure to the car. As far as our doors go, as far as the panel fitment and alignment, you can see the gaps to the front and to the back of the car here. Very, very tight gaps here. It looks to be adjusted very nice. All of your body lines all line up. The elevations are dead on here with the quarters and the fenders. So again, all of that looks very nice. We'll come up a little bit here. We'll look at the mirrors here. We've got the mirrors on both sides. Got the rectangular style mirrors here. Again, these are adjustable here. You can move those around and get them where you need them. The chrome finish on the outside is in excellent shape. The actual glass in them in great shape too. And as far as our windows go, the wing window, the actual door window, and the quarter window glass, those are all in great shape. There's no chips or cracks anywhere in those. And as you can see, all of the bright work, all of the trim that you see around here, that is in great shape too. There's no pitting in any of that. Of course, they have body color matched the actual drip rail moldings here, which look very nice on the car. And as I feel through that drip rail, that rain gutter, that is nice and smooth all the way through there. Chrome door handles in nice shape too. Now let's open up our door, take a look at our interior. Again, we got a few goodies in here to go over. As far as the interior goes, all black, as you can see, vinyl upholstery, bucket seats up front, bench in the back. All of the seat belts are included on this car. Now, as we come to the front and look at that, we've got the full-length center console there. Again, automatic center console. It is a C4 transmission. And then, of course, the dash. Obviously, that has been updated to the Dakota Dakota digital gauges there. Very nice gauge set in there. Again, you'll be able to monitor everything on this car through those gauges. The steering column itself, that is a tilt column. Looks to be like a brushed aluminum column. And then as far as the radio goes, aftermarket radio, this is a custom Autosound AM FM stereo in that car. And there are speakers in the car too. I believe those are custom Autosound 6x9 speakers in the package tray. As far as the carpeting's in excellent shape. There's no rips, tears, or fading there. Seat upholstery, same thing. We come over to the door panels. Again, on the Mustangs here, you've got the painted section, and then you also have the upholstered section there, so with the panel installed. Again, the panel is in excellent shape, showing no wear and tear. All the bright work, the trim around it, all looks good. Even the armrest pad, no signs of wear and tear on that. That looks good. And of course, all of our seals and our weather stripping the whole way up around our door here all look good. There's no rips or tears, all attached secure. Same thing with those quarter window seals, those all look good. And of course, we come out here to the door weather stripping. Again, no rips or tears anywhere, securely fastened or anchored to the car. The rubber bump stops there, and again, you do in fact have your the VIN plate there, or the warranty plate there for the car. We'll close that up. Again, that shuts nice and easy. We'll continue back the side of the car. The quarter panel is nice and straight. Even our side marker bezels and lenses, those are in excellent shape. The bezels themselves, painted body color, and the lenses, there's no cracks in those. As far as the rear window goes, same thing here. No chips or cracks in the window. Looks very good. All of your bright work and trim around that window, all in really nice shape. Good and straight. There's no dents or dings. All securely fastened. Very nice looking stuff here. And as far as our trunk lid goes, the adjustments on the trunk lid are very, very nice here. Your gaps are nice and tight. Your elevations all look good. So the trunk lid fits very nice. As far as the back of your car goes, you've got all your bright work, your trim work around the tail panel. That all looks nice. No dents or dings, nice and straight, polished up very well. Your rear bumper, very nice chrome on this bumper. There's no pitting, no scratches, no cracks in the chrome. Of course, you've got your Mustang up on the trunk lid itself, and then you've got the actual flip open gas cap here as well. Down below in your rear lower valance, you do in fact have your backup lights down here. Those lenses are in great shape. Bezels, same thing. The chrome's in great condition on these. And of course, we see those turn down tips from the exhauster, which we'll go over a little bit more here as we get closer to the engine. Let's go ahead and open our trunk lid up so you get to see what the interior of the trunk looks like. So of course the key does in fact work the lock. Latch and everything works great. The hinges and the spring do as they should be, holding that trunk lid up. Underside of the trunk done here in the same color as the body, that nice burgundy color there. Of course, all of our seals and weather stripping around the trunk lid are in great shape. You've got the rubber bump stops here also. And then all of your water channels or your rain gutters here, those are all good and solid, so that's going to direct all that water right out the back if you get caught in a rainstorm or such. As far as the interior of the trunk goes, well, that speaks for itself here in the video. The interior of this trunk looks great. The floors are good and solid, and they look fantastic here. The black and aqua trunk spatter paint. You've got a full set of floor mats here that go along with the car. And we'll just lift this up here because I want to show you. That is the fuel tank. Again, as we know with the Mustangs, they mount in from the top side here, but the condition of this tank is just phenomenal. It looks really, really good inside here. So that is pretty much our trunk. So let's close this up. Whoop. There we go. And then we'll walk around to the passenger side. So again, first thing I do, look up along the side of the car, make sure it's nice and straight. Again, it is in fact nice and straight. Same thing with our bezels for our side marker lights, body color, no chips or cracks in those lenses. We'll come up here now to basically might as well just go up to the door because we've already been over the wheels and tires and such. So again, we come up to our passenger side door, and just as we had over on the driver's side, we've got nice tight gaps both to the front and to the back of the car here. Again, all of your elevations, all of your alignment, all looks really good here with all of your body lines all in check there the whole way down. As far as the trim over on this side of the windows here, again, great here. There's no pitting, no scratches. Everything's polished up, nice and shiny here. Looks very good. Same thing with our glass here in the windows. No chips or cracks there. Again, that matching mirror to the other side of the car. Chrome finish is in great condition. Glass is in great shape too. Those drip rail moldings, nice and straight, good and securely fastened to the car. And again, that rain gutter, nice and smooth throughout. Let's go ahead and open our door up. Take a look at the interior now from the passenger side. Again, as I mentioned before, the upholstery, there's no rips or tears anywhere. Those look great. The seats do. Center console looks good. The carpeting, again, no rips, tears, or fading there. The dash is in great condition too. All of our weather stripping, all good and you know, no rips or tears, nicely secured to the car. Same thing with our door weather stripping. And again, just like the other side, we've got those little rubber bump stops there so that when everything closes, it's good and tight. Let's go ahead and close this up. And then we'll walk around. You do notice we do have the fender mounted antenna, the matching emblems down here on the side of the car. And then that brings us around to the front. So this again is our 68 Mustang front end here. Your bezel's done in the body color here. Again, a very nice look for the car. Got your traditional sealed beam headlights here, glass lenses, no chips or cracks in any of those. The grille is all good and solid, no breaks, no cracks or anything in that. Of course, you've got the Mustang emblem right in the center. Down below that, nicely chromed front bumper there. Again, no chips, no pitting, no scratches, no cracks in that chrome at all. The hood, this would be your stock hood. It fits nice and tight too, nice tight gaps all the way around. As far as the grill areas or the cowl areas here, again, this can sometimes be a problem area here as you would collect some water and debris through the years. But as I look down through here, everything looks good and solid. The windshield wiper squirters are right there too. They're present. You've got your nice bright work here as far as the windshield wiper arms go. The blades are in great shape. Windshield, no chips or cracks in that. All of your trim work here, your bright work around the windshield, all securely fastened. Looks very good too, no dents or dings there. The other thing in the hood here, in these, I guess the vented area back here, or your kind of inverted scoop here, you do in fact have the turn signals in there also, which function as well. Right now, we're at the point where we always open the hood up, so let's go ahead and do that, because we got a few things to go over underneath the hood now. So of course, the underside of the hood done here in the same color as the body here. Nice looking hood underneath here. No modifications done. Got the bright work along the leading edge of the hood there. That all looks good too. As far as the engine compartment, nice flat or satin black paint throughout here as it should be. Looks very, very nice. And now of course we have the engine that we can go over. So this is in fact a 289 cubic inch small block Ford motor. It's got a couple things on it to kind of brighten things up a little bit. Those things would be things like the air cleaner, chrome air cleaner lid here, looks good. Air filters in good condition there. We've got the chromed Ford Racing embossed valve covers here. Got the breathers in those as well, so it vents everything properly. We also have a chrome alternator. We've got an aluminum radiator here that makes things look really nice. And then we got some billet aluminum pulleys up front. That just kind of adds to everything there to kind of dress things up. Now underneath our air cleaner, we do in fact have a Holley 600 CFM classic style carburetor there, and it looks like it does in fact have the electric choke here, and that is all hooked up. You've got your fuel pressure gauge in here so you can monitor that, make adjustments to it easily there. And then you have a chrome mechanical fuel pump there also. Right underneath the carburetor, we've got an Edelbrock aluminum intake, and then we've got a chrome water gooseneck here too. So again, those are all things to kind of help dress the motor up a little bit. Now the radiator being aluminum, and it's a polished aluminum, not so much to dress things up, although it does, but this is just going to provide a lot better cooling for you. The aluminum's going to cool a lot more efficiently, and as you can see here, we've got an electric puller fan in there too, which is a lot more efficient also for cooling. As far as the battery goes, you can see it's got the Optima red top battery. It does have a billet aluminum battery hold down there. Again, just things that dress it up a little bit underneath here. Now for the ignition system on the car, we've got a Pertronix flamethrower billet distributor here. It is a vacuum advanced, as you can see the can right there, and it is all hooked up. We've got the Pertronix flamethrower 2 coil to also deliver a little bit better spark to that motor as well. And it also has a set of Dart Pro 1 aluminum cylinder heads. So that's all performance stuff this car is going to run really good for you. As far as hoses and such, your radiator hoses are all in good shape. All your hose clamps are all good and secure. No leaks or drips anywhere. All your heater hoses here, same thing. Nicely routed, nice good hose clamps on everything there. Exhaust system on the car, we've got Hedman headers here. These are 1 3/4 long tube headers, ceramic coated headers too. And then those empty out into 2.5-inch full exhaust, Flowmaster mufflers, and of course out the back we saw those turn down exhaust tips for it. So a very nice exhaust system on this car as well. It is a manual steering, but as I mentioned, it does have an aftermarket Flaming River steering rack, which makes things very nice as far as the car goes and as far as the steering of it. And as far as the brakes go, it is a power brake car, disc brakes, all 4 wheels, as I mentioned, OE style components up front, and it's got the Stainless Steel Brake Corporation discs, or the calipers I should say at least, on the back with the slotted rotors there. Now behind the motor, we have something else that we need to talk about, and that would be the transmission. It's got an option on the transmission that was added in. It is the C4 automatic transmission, but it has bolted to that, it's a gear vendor's automatic overdrive system back there. So what that's for is that's going to convert that 3-speed automatic to a 4-speed, and when you're out maybe on the highway just cruising around, you can activate that gear vendor's overdrive, and that's exactly what it does. It just gives you an extra gear so you're not revving that motor up too high. And again, you're really not going to be too concerned with that either, because again, the gearing in the rear end is that 350 gearing in that 8-inch Ford rear. So that's pretty much it for our walk around on our 68 Mustang here. Now what we usually do right now is I usually tell you guys, depending on where you're watching the video from, always make sure that you go to our company website, hanksters.com. That way you're going to see all of the photos, upwards of 100 photos. Obviously the video will be there. You'll see our retail pricing. You'll see all the options, the description, all of that stuff will be right there on our website. Now with the retail pricing on this car, we do include enclosed shipping to anywhere within the 48 contiguous states. And we also put in that our Hanksters 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty. If you're interested in seeing how that works, I just ask that you kind of reach out to us, and we'll be glad to go over that. Very easy process if you would ever have to use that. The other thing is, parts and accessories. If there's something that you might not have seen on this car, one thing I could say is maybe power steering or possibly air conditioning, things like that or of that nature. We do all kinds of installations and so forth. So no matter what it is, again, reach out to us, ask us about it. We'll be glad to get you pricing on parts and labor for that to get that installed for you and make the car yours. With that said, we're going to go ahead and take just a moment to close everything up here, take it back in our shop and get it on our lift so that I can then go through the complete underside with you and show you all the goodies underneath this car too. It won't disappoint. So we'll just take a minute and we'll be right back with you to do that. Hey folks, welcome back. Here we are back in our shop. We've got our 68 Mustang up on the lift now. And as always, we're just going to go through the underside here of the car, point out to you what all the components are that we can see from the underside now, and point out the condition, which I'll just start off with. The condition of everything is in really nice shape down here. But we'll go through it as we always do, and we'll get started right now. So starting at the front of our 1968 Ford Mustang here, we obviously can look up and we can see the bottom of our aluminum radiator here. It looks to be in fantastic condition underneath here. All of our lines, like our tranny lines there, everything is nice and dry there where everything's connected. The drain petcock, there's no leaks or drips there, as well as the lower radiator hose, no leaks or drips there. The hose looks good from the underside, as well as all the hose clamps there too. We work our way back just a little bit here. We'll talk about the steering, the suspension, and so forth here right now. And that is going to be on your Mustangs. Typically, you find yourself with the strut rod style front suspension. And this, in fact, does have that. So it's an adjustable strut rod. And that's kind of nice because, again, you can use this feature here to help with your alignment, setting the cast or the camber and all that stuff with the car. That's just part of it. So again, those are in great shape. The bushings and so forth are in great condition too. Back here a little bit further, we've got our upper and lower control arms. Now these are all Scott Drake control arms, so these are really nice arms here. Still look to be, kind of like your OE style, kind of like a stamped steel component, but they are in fact an aftermarket Scott Drake. The springs, they are called Grab-A-Trak front coilover springs on the car. And then as far as the steering and suspension, now they've gone ahead and changed up the steering a little bit on the car. So instead of having your typical steering up front, we still have manual steering, but they've upgraded it and they've gone to a aftermarket steering rack here. I was drawing a blank there, but I believe it is I think it's a Flaming River steering rack, which again makes the steering very nice. All the tie rods, the tie rod ends, those are all in great shape. You can see the boots on the ends of that steering rack. Those are all in great condition here. And again, the mount for it is really heavy duty here. So that's going to help that steering out quite a bit. And the steering shaft and so forth, that's all aftermarket stuff there too, and done very, very nicely with all of your universals and stuff like that on it. As far as the braking system on this car, it is power brakes, disc brakes all the way around on this car. As far as the front goes, it looks like the front is all OE style stuff here. So when it comes time for your pads and rotors and so forth, you should have no problem whatsoever going to a local auto parts store and getting parts to replace these. When we get to the back, they do have some aftermarket stuff back there, but we'll go over it whenever we get there. As far as the motor goes, what I can see from the underside here, we've got the billet pulleys, we've got the aftermarket fluid dampener here on the front of the motor. The oil pan itself, nice and dry all the way around. Your gaskets and seals dry at the drain plug and dry up in behind that oil pan also. It's got a chrome fuel pump up there also. And then as far as your transmission, this is a C4 automatic transmission. It's got the cover on the front to protect that flywheel there and the torque converter. The pan itself, you can see chrome pan. It is fin there. And again, that's nice and dry all the way around. Has really nice hardware, all the star washers and everything. to keep everything nice and tight. And again, all of our transmission lines coming back here are all nice and dry as well. One extra added little thing here on the transmission that makes this a very nice unit here is this right back here. This is the gear vendor's overdrive system back here. So that's bolted to the rear of the transmission, and it does exactly what it says it does. It's an overdrive. So takes that 3-speed, changes it to a 4-speed transmission, so that when you get out on the highway, it'll use that overdrive system. And again, you won't over rev your car whenever you're just doing highway cruising. As far as the exhaust system, we've got the Hedman headers here, long tube headers, ceramic coated, 1 3/4 inch, and then they exit into the full 2.5 inch exhaust here, and it's got the Flowmaster mufflers back there. We'll check out the tailpipes as we get towards the rear of the car. As far as the frame and the floors, this car looks excellent underneath here. You can see this frame, or the floors and such, no undercoating here really to talk about. It's all just kind of like the black paint underneath here. Looks good. You can tell this is all the regular floor material here. Again, all your stamping lines and so forth in the metal, all there. Your frame sections are all in excellent shape, nice and square, good and straight. The actual transmission mount is in excellent condition, along with that tranny mount itself. Back here at the rear of the gear vendor's system here, the output shaft seal, that is nice and dry also, and that's where those slip yoke slides into it there. The drive shaft itself, steel drive shaft, and that is, it is balanced, yes. So it is weighted. That's going to help you eliminate any kind of driveline vibration you have. And then the rear end itself here, this is a Ford 8-inch rear. The gear in this is a 350, and it does in fact have the POSI unit in here. As far as the rear suspension on the car, we got the multi-leaf rear suspension. The shocks on all 4 corners are the KYB gas adjust shocks there. And then of course back here on the rear of the car, we've got the stainless steel Brake Corporation rear calipers. These are slotted rotors also, and it does in fact have the emergency brake all hooked up here on the rear of the car. So again, that makes the rear braking system really, really nice on this vehicle. Our wheels and tires, obviously you saw those from the walk around video. They are all 15-inch wheels. They're the American Racing Torque Thrust wheels. And these, as far as tires go, BFGoodrich Radial TAs, again, very popular tire with all the hot rod and muscle car crews out there. But the sizes on these were 215, 65, 15s on the front, and then we've got 235, 60, 15s back here on the rear. Again, the tread is in great shape. As a matter of fact, these all look to be new as far as the tires go here also. Brake lines and so forth, all nice and dry all the way back. Same thing with the fuel lines, all run nice and neatly along the bottom of the car here, right next to the pinch welds. The fuel tank, it is in great condition here, as you can see, nice and shiny underneath here. That sending unit there, all dry around it, including all of your lines and so forth. The exhaust, your tailpipes, as it finishes off here, downturned here as far as the exhaust goes to finish it off, and then cut off nice and straight there right underneath that lower valance. That is pretty much the underside of your car there. Again, it's got a lot of nice looking components underneath here, a lot of good components as far as the rack, suspension, steering, all of your braking components, and then again, just the overall condition of everything is just great underneath the car here. So at this point, I always like to bring up the fact that we are an ATC trailer dealer now. You can check those out, view all of our inventory that we have right here in stock ready to be sold. You can see that by simply going to, even on our car website, clicking the inventory tab, and on that drop down searching for trailer inventory, or you can go directly to our trailer website at hankstershaulers.com to see all the pricing, see all the models we have have here descriptions and so forth on all of that. And of course, if you're one of our car customers, we'll be glad to work with you there as far as pricing and so forth goes on those trailers if you are in need of one. With that said, we are all done with the underside of our 68 Mustang. We're gonna go ahead and get this down off the lift. We're gonna go underneath the hood next, fire that motor up, and then we'll let you hear exactly what that 289 Ford sounds like.